Anna Duggar was seen looking emotional as she stormed out of court in the moments after her husband Josh's sentencing. The counting on alum will serve 12 years in prison on CP charges. The Sun exclusively obtained photos and video of Anna wearing a black mask and blue dress as she fled the courtroom. She had a sullen look on her face following news that the father of her 7 children would be behind bars for more than a decade. Josh's sentencing hearing came several months after he was found guilty on charges. Many members of his famous family attended the trial and the subsequent hearing. In court, Josh sought leniency from the judge as he begged for a 60-month sentence. Instead, he was hit with a 151-month or 12-year sentence. The reality star was also ordered to pay $50,000 in fines. While he read his decision, the judge called Josh's crimes the sickest of the sick. He then said, "You have done some very bad things. But in your life as a whole, you've done good things. The true test of a man's character is what a man does when no one is watching." Referring to Josh's insistence that he's innocent, the judge went on, "I find it aggravating about the lack of responsibility." Josh's wife Anna, sister Joanna, dad Jim Bob and brothers Jason and James watched him receive his grueling sentence in court on Wednesday, the Sun's reporter claimed. Joanna and Jason appeared saddened by the judge's decision, while Anna and Jim Bob remained emotionless. Josh's mother Michelle and other siblings were not in attendance. After Josh completes his prison stay, he will serve 20 more years of probation and will be forbidden from unsupervised visits with children. He will not be allowed to have a computer or view adult video of any kind. Josh was previously found guilty of possessing and receiving CP on December 9 after a nearly 2-week trial. He has been locked up in Washington County Jail since the verdict, and will soon be transferred to federal prison, where he is expected to undergo a sex offender treatment program. Prosecutors demanded the disgraced star receive the maximum sentence of 20 years in prison, while Josh's legal team begged for just 5 years behind bars ahead of the court hearing. The government argued in the sentencing memorandum previously reported by The Sun, in consideration of the extraordinary efforts Duggar took to obtain and view CP material, she was horribly victimized to provide this source of entertainment. There are many more victims of Duggar's crimes, all of whom were subjected to extreme and unimaginable instances of sexual abuse and violence. Some of the victims depicted in the CSAM he downloaded and possessed, like the victim described above, have been identified and rescued. Others have not, and the pain and trauma they have experienced as a result of Duggar's conduct will go unvoiced at the sentencing hearing. Government also brought up when Josh accosted minor females in the family home when he was a teenager. The court papers claimed, "This court is now presented with an offender who has a history of sexually abusing minors, who has not received any treatment or therapy for this conduct to speak of, who appears unlikely to ever seek out or meaningfully participate in treatment or therapy to address this conduct, and who continues to deny any responsibility for his past or present crimes." There is simply no indication that Duggar will ever take the steps necessary to change this pattern of behavior and address his predilection for minor females. Given these circumstances, this court should be particularly mindful in crafting its sentence of the likelihood that Duggar reoffends upon his release from incarceration and what his reoffending conduct will entail.